everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Ideally, though.
Ideally, though.
I'm your host, Erica, and with me is my hubby, my bestie, my butterbeer squad.
Yeah, what up?
We made it to another week.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to give appreciation. Shout out to all the parents, like getting their kids ready for school. Like, aren't y'all ready for them bastards to go back?
The bastard is hilarious, yo.
No, you like love your kids, and you're like, oh, we do little summer vacations and things, but you're like, yeah, go back to school. Like, I'm ready to have the me time, walk around naked.
I like that. I don't mind that.
Not my refrigerator ain't always open.
That's true.
Food ain't always ate.
Snacks are always gone. Yeah.
Everything ain't turned on.
Also valid.
And the power bill might be a little smaller.
You're starting to maybe look at the benefits a little more.
I'm just saying, when you and your two siblings was at home during the summer, you're like, they are eating everything. And there's two boys.
I mean, yeah, we were gorillas in the kitchen. It was pretty bad.
Yeah. I have to literally hide snacks to be like, no, I'm going to hide snacks for when school starts. Because if I did not, the school snacks would be already ate. And it's only been a week or two since I went grocery shopping.
They stop being school snacks and just become snacks.
Yeah.
And that's just, you're right.
So I'm like, let me hide these so that y'all have something to eat. So y'all don't be like, oh, there's nothing to eat for lunch. Well, it was in your stomach a week ago.
Because you're eating us at a house fucking home.
Like, oh my goodness, inflation, recession. Like, I'm trying to hold on to a little coin that I got.
Man, and for real. And
I wanted to kind of just, dive into today's episode. Today we wanted to talk about or kind of review the House of the Dragons.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm glad you said it correctly. House of the Dragons and stuff. I'm not. I'm going to say House of Dragons.
Because... we say House of Dragons, but House of the Dragons for anybody who wants to be, politically correct.
All right, I'm going to hashtag both of them.
Yeah. Black folks say House of the Dragons.
House of Dragons.
But, it's such a great show. And I wish we would have reviewed the first season last year or the year before. But it's so many mixed reviews about this season. So many people were excited for the season. It gets us back into like the excitement we had with Game of Thrones.
Okay. I mean, I guess I'll say more about how I feel once we get to the, end episode portion of this. But I'm inclined to agree at the moment right now with what's kind of been going around on the internet. Like, I'm excited, but also I'm very cursing.
I mean, all week I've been writing notes, rewatching the episodes, and I'm somebody who's a serial like rerun watcher.
Yeah.
Also because I be missing details sometimes, so me watching it for the next time to kind of talk about it on the pod was like, oh shit. That means that, just trying to get some details. So we're really taking it like episode by episode.
Okay.
Now, there are some people who listen to our pod that have not watched, House of the Dragons, the first season. It's not going to be up to me to go over a review of the first season. Y'all just going to have to go on Max and go watch it.
Yeah.
And I'm making spoilers. It's been a week. It came out last week. So, I wanted to review it. And hopefully those good House of Dragon, fans, they can relate, and I hope I give it justice.
We'll see.
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
So, this is taking place, 200, almost, I think it was 175 years before Game of Thrones.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
So with season 2, episode 1, which is a son for a son, we leave off where Rhaenyra is mourning the loss of her son Luke.
Right.
She doesn't really know if he's dead or not because you get those ravens and, miscommunication. So she's flying off with her dragon to go look for Luke and see if she can find his body, which she does end up finding his body on the coast.
Yes.
I'm assuming bits and pieces of his body.
I remember it as bits and pieces.
Yeah.
Like she found the dragon's wing.
Yeah.
I believe it was, yes.
So we know he got burnt the fuck up. And we also are kind of introduced right after she finds Luke's body. We're introduced back to Lord Coley and him actually speaking with what we find out is his illegitimate son, Alan. So we find out that Alan works for him. We're like, oh, we thought all your kids was dead. Oh, now you have some more. Like, what's up with these men just you got a good woman at home, and you over there just birthing hella kids.
That's not a what's up thing. I think that's just kind of human nature.
What do you mean human nature?
You that's like what we've seen historically.
Yeah.
There haven't been real such things as like the nuclear family until like this last 40s. Like 40, 50 years, right? And prior to that, it was kings and queens and monarchies and things. So, and that kind of just ran its course. The king was like, all right, I'm going to just do whatever I want because I'm him. Human nature in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just like, I really loved Rhaenys and Lord Coley's relationship. So I was like, oh my God, you got some kids on the side? What the hell? Okay, whatever. We then kind of go to the Red Keep and see Alicent is now fucking Sir Criston Cole.
Yeah.
And I was like, bitch, I knew it. You wanted Rhaenys fucking or Rhaenyra's sloppy seconds so bad. But it just was like, I felt like we knew this was happening because, of course, what's the name? Viserys is dead, and he's kind of always been by her side. She saved his life. He kind of been saving hers, having her back. So it was like, it was bound to happen. But I figure with Aegon and Aemon kind of becoming more and more like assholes, like they're not gonna like if they find out that y'all been fucking.
This is a win, I feel, type of situation.
Yeah.
When they find out, unless somebody dies anytime soon, they can do whatever they want with the writing. But I feel like it's a win they find out. It's gonna be a gross type of situation, and that whole relationship is just based off the fact that they're both rejected and exactly want what Rhaenyra has. You know what I mean? She wants Alicent wants Rhaenyra's freedom. And the choice and things that she has, the strength that she usually upholds, especially since she was a little girl, and he just wanted her.
Yeah.
It's so sad.
No, I don't want to go.
Rejection leads to all this shit
right.
happening.
I don't want to go sell oranges, bitch, by the fucking, by the damn ocean. I want to be queen. This has always been my birthright.
Right.
We now see this season that Aegon is embracing being king. We knew last season he was not. He was trying to run away from it, but now he's embracing it.
Yeah.
And we also see him in fatherhood, with him having to be like betrothed to his sister Helena. It's kind of creepy.
Of course it's creepy.
But he likes being a father. You see he has his son and then he has his daughter, but he's really kind of like paying attention to his son and making him come into the small council meeting. So I thought that was really cute.
Yeah. It humanizes him a little bit there. Finally. You know what I mean? Because a lot of what we've seen in the prior season and in the episodes and in everything we've seen between or whatever, and from history, from Game of Thrones as a whole, it's more or less like these people are just cutthroats,
Yeah.
So he felt very human.
The throne always makes you mean,
exactly.
Right? Which we did not see with Rhaenyra's dad. He was more so like, I don't really want it, but if I have to take it, I guess, you guys don't really want my cousin who's a woman to do it. So, we see that Rhaenyra comes back to Dragonstone and Daemon is there and she gives him the green light. She like, no, I need Aemon's head.
Yeah.
So we see that Daemon goes over to Westeros or King's Landing, and he goes and recruits the rat catchers.
The rat catchers, yes. What is it? Cheese and blood or something like that?
Something like that,
blood and cheese, they believe it is, yeah.
And what's so interesting is that what we see throughout this season is that they just be hopping from Dragonstone to King's Landing. Like, y'all just be sneaking on each other's land. And there's so many Kingsguard that y'all just, I don't know how this is happening.
How aren't people just regularly not assassinated on a daily basis?
We do see that Daemon recruits these two knuckleheads who obviously is not taking the directions correctly. He says he wants Aemon's head. Mm-hmm. They go through the kingdom, and I guess you could call it the Red Keep.
Yeah, that's right.
And they find Helena with her kids, and they're like, "Which one is the king? Which one is the?" And she points to her son, and they cut his fucking head off.
Yeah, they kill a toddler in it, and
I just thought that was crazy.
That was a crazy moment. Yeah. That was a crazy moment for sure. What a way to open, right?
That was a crazy open. I said, y'all not gonna really kill him. Y'all not gonna really, and then you can hear
it. That's the best part is you can hear it and not see it, and it left everything else to the imagination.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, like in the beginning of the episode, that we are introduced to Ned Stark's great 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 grandfather, who actually tells Jace, which is Rhaenyra's oldest son, that I'm here for y'all. We bonded. Our families are loyal to each other.
Yeah.
I just want you to know, we're at the wall. They're at the wall. That there are things beyond the wall. That's worse than what y'all got going on with this war.
Yes.
And it made me believe. Okay, so we have some Night King shit going on? What really is?
Yeah, but I now understand it to be, at least in my head, I'm not sure how it is canonically, but in my head it feels as if this story that we have with House of Dragons, the Night King, he's been, the inception of him and the creation of him has been long before that too, from what it seems. So I don't know, man. It's incredibly interesting to see where that can span.
Yeah. We also get what I would like to call her the Master of Whispers, but it's Masera or whatever. She's the one who was Daemon's ex. They catch her on, I think, one of the sea snakes boats, and they take her over to Dragonstone, and they're questioning her about, what do you know about King's Landing? Because my son is dead, and bitch, I need some answers. We also find out as well that the two twins from the first season, Eric and Eric, one's with an A, one's with an E, that they have kind of split up. So we have one for Team Black and one for Team Green. Right. Team Black is Rhaenyra, Team Green is Aegon. And the episode ends with Helena taking her daughter and going to her mom's bedroom, Alice's room. I mean, essentially catching her in the bed with fucking Kristen Cole.
Yes.
Coochie Cole.
Yes.
Is what they call him. And saying that they killed the boy.
Yeah.
So that's what kind of ends off episode 1.
Not kind of. That ends it off.
I mean,
it definitely, it definitely was a shocker. It was one of those that, as I remember it correctly on X or Twitter or whatever Elon wants to fucking call it, it made waves, and it set this season up so far.
Oh, it was so good, that first episode.
Very well off to let us feel like, oh, we finna get into some shit.
Yeah, because the end of first season was like, you kill him. Edmund killed his fucking nephew.
Yeah,
and she like, no, I want revenge.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
It didn't go the way she wanted because she's always about peace. So Daemon fucked up. It just shows that the one person who's supposed to be on your side, who's your husband / basically your hand. Yeah, he done fucked up the first mission. Right. Yeah. So we already know that Aegon's not going to take this lightly. Like we said before, he's embracing fatherhood. So the next episode is Rhaenyra the Cruel.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So the opening scene is Aegon going crazy in his chambers. He finds out his son got killed. He wants fucking names. He wants heads.
Yeah, I respect that feeling.
Now, we have Otter Hightower, which is his grandfather, Alicent's father, that comes up with this bright idea to parade Jaehaerys, which is the son's body, through, I guess, King's Landing, and just to get some empathy and sympathy points for the kingdom. Yeah. He doesn't want Aegon to go. He says it's just best that Helena and Alicent go to kind of show their legency and get that woman empathy, women empathy.
It gives us a empathy, and it also shows a bit of strength with the women that go out.
I did not like that. There was like nothing really covering his little body, and it looked like his neck was the head was about to fall off.
They freaking
and I was like, this is sick.
It's pretty gruesome looking, and I enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty well done for the makeup's sake. Yeah.
You know what I didn't like is that now you guys want the small folks empathy, but they're starving in the streets almost, and you want them to
feel bad for you.
Yeah, their kids are dying. Yeah. It's like, no offense, but fuck just Harris, right? Rhaenyra finds out by the small council that her little nephew is killed. Yeah. And they're saying it was her. She called for that to be done. Right. She's pissed because she's like, Daemon, I told you, bitch ass. I wanted Aemon's head, not the fucking baby. And you can see him like, well, you shouldn't ask me to do it.
I mean, you said, though.
You said. So, she suspects Daemon fucked up, and he also has alternative motives. So they get into it, and he tells her, like, I'm over here trying to get a whole army for you. I'm about to go to Harrenhal, the biggest kingdom, in the 7 kingdoms. And I'm trying to get an army for you. And you over here questioning whether I'm have your back or not?
Right.
Like, what the fuck is this?
Right.
So we actually have Damon that heads off to Harrenhal, and we move over to Christian Cole, who recruits Eric with the A to go to Dragonstone to kill Rhaenyra.
Yeah, it's essentially what like a ploy to play as his brother, his twin brother.
Yeah, which was great ploy. But I was just like, won't you do a big shot? You do it. You know, it's a great idea, but he was poking and prodding at Eric. Why is your cloak dirty? Bitch, you're the one fucking the queen.
Where were you
when
the murder happened? Yeah.
So I was like, he's doing this out of spite. Like, we all know, I think we all gained as a group a big hatred for Sir Christian Cole.
Oh, for sure.
We're like, you let the vagina get your head all messed up.
And his insecurities get in the way.
Oh, his insecurities being second fiddle all the time.
He's mad insecure, yeah.
So, you know, we have Eric that heads off to Dragonstone. How easy is it to get to Dragonstone? As easy as to get to King's Landing.
Hey, man, for real. Them niggas just show the fuck up. It's like on the beach, just right there, and then walk up.
Yeah. Now, as you know, Christian Cole tells Eric to go to Dragonstone. We actually have the footboy, Lord Strong. He actually is the head of Harrenhal, but you know, he's over at King's Landing over there whispering. He's the master of whispers. Get in Aegon's head, telling him, hey, you know, you need a new hand. You know, you should pick a new hand. So we find out that Aegon's like, nah, fuck my grandfather, Otter Hightower, and I want Christian Cole, which I thought was a bad idea because he's a Knights Guard. He's not fit to be giving out advice to a king about what should be going on. But I mean, I don't know if that was Lord Strong's like idea. I think he probably wanted to be, but it kind of went to okay, Sir Christian Cole is my next best.
It's exactly what it's not what he wanted per se. Like, so Larys the Foot, right? And Otto are kind of like the opposite sides of a coin for what like Littlefinger was in Game of Thrones.
He is.
It
was like he ran so that
exactly
could run.
And he wanted to be the one that was chosen to be the hand, but instead the brashness of Sir Christian Cole prior, had the conversation with the king and all that stuff. It's like, oh, I can trust him because he's brash. He could just talk to me.
He's gonna get the job done. I need some heads taken. Versus with Lord Strong, he's more like, let's be strategic about it. And in that moment, he didn't want to hear that. But he did take his advice, but it was not picking him.
Exactly.
We do get Aaron, who gets into Dragonstone. And we get this infamous fight, with the brothers.
Yes.
Because we got Eric trying to kill Rhaenyra.
Yeah.
And, you know, they both have loyalty to their team, Team Black, Team Green. And both the brothers end up dying, killing each other.
Yep.
And that really just ends episode 2.
Yeah, which was a very sad ending. I liked the twins.
Yeah, there was a cute little love story of the brothers.
Yeah, they really truly had a real bond, real love for each other. And that was tough to watch. It was a little tough to watch, but I liked it though.
Yeah.
Like, it had it gave more of the same impact, right? That the first episode did.
Yeah, it was like, here's another fight, and one we don't want to see because we like the twins. We more so like Eric with an E because he's with Team Black, and he really tells us about the loyalty he has for her.
Yeah.
And how he was like, I'm leaving them because I don't like what they're doing.
Yeah.
But he loved his brother, and we knew he didn't want to kill him, but yeah, they killed each other.
Yeah. Good episode.
Yeah.
Good episode.
Episode 3, The Burning Mill. So, the beginning of that episode shows us, actually, we see a feud, a long-standing feud between the Blackwoods and the Brackens.
Yes.
So we know from them fighting in this opening scene that the Blackwoods are Team Black and the Brackens are Team Green. Even though they're part of one kingdom, these two hoes stay fighting each other, and they're never going to be on the same team.
Always having land disputes, apparently.
Yeah. Now, with us knowing that, we know that Damon's going into Harrenhal having to deal with two families that don't get along, and he's trying to bring them together so that they can fight for Rhaenyra.
Correct.
So we already know that he's going to have time trying to figure that out.
Yeah.
Back at Dragonstone, we have Rhaenyra. She's, showing her loyalty to the twins, and she's burying them, which we like to see. together because she knew how much that they loved each other.
Yeah.
Rhaenyra starts talking to her. What is it? Rhaenys, which is her father's cousin, who tells her that he does not believe that Otter Hightower brung Eric to Dragonstone. He's like, that sounds like something that somebody else would probably come up with.
Yeah.
So I like that because yes, we don't fuck with Otter Hightower, but Rhaenys is telling you, I've been knowing this bitch for a long time, and this is the shit he don't pull. He's more strategic. He's not gonna go for the gusto like that.
Yeah.
So we have let me see. Sorry, I'm just looking at my notes. Oh, Rhaenys tells her that you need to go talk to Alicent. We already can hop from from Dragonstone to King's Landing. Go ahead and sneak to King's Landing and go talk to Alicent.
Yeah.
See if you can. We can have peace before this war pops off because we already see it coming. And if we can, what your campaign is all about is peace. Let's go ahead and try to see if we can salvage this. Yep.
Yeah, let's try to curtail this.
So we're introduced to Renee. Renee, I believe that's her. That is actually Daemon's daughter.
Okay.
Renee, I think it's Renee. I don't know. They all have the R names or whatever.
Yeah, say Renee because it just makes it
probably Renee.
Easier.
Okay,
Jesus.
So that's Daemon's younger daughter. So he has the two daughters, Bailey and then Renee.
Yeah,
and she was supposed to be betrothed to Luke.
That's true.
And it's weird because they're supposed to be cousins and half siblings.
We know this already.
Whatever.
Continue.
But she goes. Rhaenyra tells Renee that I'm gonna need you to go babysit my young 3 kids and take them to the Vale. I know that the war's about to pop off. I'm not sure what's gonna happen when I go talk to Alicent, but I need you to take the last unhatched dragon eggs, the last 4. And take the kids, and I need you to bounce to the Vale. Yeah. I got some peeps in the Vale.
Right.
And I need you to bounce there and raise them.
And keep these safe, yeah.
Now, we're over back to Harrenhal. So, Daemon goes over and talks to Sir Simon Strong. So we know him to be what's his name? Great probably grandfather.
What's his face? Man,
Sam. Yeah, Sam.
Yeah, Sam.
So he tells him about hey, if you want this army, you're gonna really have to break up this feud between the Brackens and the Blackwoods. He also tells him how Lord Tully is the one who's over Harrenhal. He is very sick. He's old. He's shitting on himself. And he's not really going to be any help to you. So you're going to have to either talk to his grandson that's like 12 years old, Oscar Tully, or you're going to have to try to figure out how to get these 2 houses together. Either way, I'm with you. And Sir Simon Strong, I like him because he is actually the grandfather to the footboy. But he's kind of like, he's not a pushover, but he's like, hey, I'm here for Rhaenyra, just whatever.
Yeah, it's loyalty.
Yeah, he has the allegiance for her. Yeah. During this episode, we are introduced to Sir Gwyn, which is Alicent's brother. He's going off to war with Kuchiko.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so, and Otter Hightower is now leaving and going back to Old Town. I think he is marching off. I think Sir Gwyn and Cole are marching off to another army so they can secure some more people for Team Green. Rhaenys is speaking to Lord Coley, and she's telling him, hey, we're about to go off a war. You about to go off back to sea. Can you please make your heir Renee so that we can secure, she can have something of her own. Yeah. She's getting pushed to the side. She doesn't have a dragon because Aemon stole her dragon.
Right.
Can she please get Driftmark? And he was like, nah, I'm not playing that. Which makes me think that you're all talk. Like, you talk about the queen that never was, which is your wife, but you don't want to make you don't want to make a woman the heir of your shit.
I look at Lord Corley as a man who only strives for his adventures and thinks like the things he does are the most impactful things in his life, not the things he is a part of.
Yeah.
At this moment in time, for sure.
I think losing his kids too made him be like more distant. But I'm like, you still got grandkids and you still have your wife. Don't be such in a rush to go back to war, back to sea. Like, you barely made it back. Like, your illegitimate son saved your life. And without him, like, your ass would be like shark food. So, towards the end of this episode, we are introduced to Ulf. He's this drunk motherfucker that's in the, I guess, Westeros or King's Landing. They have 2 names for some reason, whatever.
It's the continent of Westeros, I believe. Yeah. And then it's King's Landing is the the area.
Yeah, the area. Okay, the area. Now he's telling all his friends in the damn. I don't know if you call it the brewery.
Yeah,
he tells
whatever.
Yeah, he tells them that he's Targaryen. He's like, listen, I'm half brothers to Daemon and Viserys.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, what the fuck? So we kind of know now. It's very brief, but we know now. Oh, there is a Targaryen. We may can use him later on in the season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or it's just a person who is drunk at this moment in time talking out of their ass. Because that's what this.
Yeah, that's what it comes off as. Okay, let's see. Oh, this is a good one. We catch Bayla. Bayla is riding she riding, in the hood with her dragon, and she spots Sir Gwyn and Christian Cole riding their army to where the Rook's Rest probably.
Yeah,
and she's like, I'm about to charge. Now, this is what I would have loved to see. I would have loved to see her smoke their ass out right then and there.
Yeah.
But I felt like it would have been too easy. And I don't know if George R. R. Martin would even give a woman that big of like I'm not to be like that, like he's sexist, but I always wonder.
That's what it sounded like.
I don't know if he's sexist, right? I don't know that man's life, but I'm like, it would be so great to give this girl a great win and a great win for Team Black if she just smoked out Aegon's army right then and there.
Mm-hmm.
But they end up hiding in the trees and getting away.
Yeah.
So she goes back to Dragonstone, lets Rhaenyra know, like, hey,
yeah,
I spotted their ass.
She let the team know, essentially. Yeah.
Yeah, I spotted their ass, but they got away. You told me not to attack, so I didn't attack. Her small council don't like that. They're used to action.
Mm-hmm.
So with seeing her trying to give peace, they're like, what is going on? Like, we already are appointing a woman as head of the Seven Kingdoms, but you're also showing like this softness that we're not used to.
Right.
Daemon is still at Harrenhal, and we're noticing now that he is getting haunted.
Yeah.
A lot of people, I noticed that Harrenhal is a big castle, a big place, but none of them were in a rush to go get the army in Harrenhal. And I feel like they all knew the stories of Harrenhal, like that bitch is haunted.
Yeah.
And let Daemon get that.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like.
Essentially send off the evil to evil.
Yeah. Now, with Daemon's ex, Mysera, whatever her name is, her and Rhaenyra are talking, and she's like, listen, you want peace, I get it. There's other ways to start a war.
Yeah.
So she tells them, I'm the master of whispers on my end.
Yeah.
They got the footboy, but I know how to talk to the people. So she sends off her handmaids to King's Landing, and she starts, she gets them to start gossiping about how there's a big blockade that Rhaenyra started. There's no food, there's no supplies that can come in.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like the first act of getting the people in King's Landing to start
revolting
uproar.
In a way.
Yeah.
And
I like that. It's like, I want peace. Okay, you want peace? Let me show you a way to get them to start fighting amongst themselves.
Yeah, it's a level of subterfuge, which
Absolutely.
is interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the end of episode 3.
Mm-hmm.
Episode 4 is
the midway mark, right?
Yeah, we're basically at the midway mark, and this is the Red Dragon and the Gold.
Okay.
So in this opening part, we have Daemon, who's still getting visited by a ghost in Harrenhal.
Yeah.
And he's actually now starting to get visited by a young Rhaenyra.
Mm-hmm.
We can see that he's
having visions and things, right? Like premonitions and visions.
Yeah, and hallucinating.
He's hearing auditory hallucinations too, and he it seems as if he's like drawn in and out in the middle of conversations and things.
Yeah, absolutely. One minute he's like in the middle of the night, he sees Rhaenyra as 15 years old. He wakes up and he's talking to Sir Simon Strong, and he's like, "What the fuck?
Yeah,
all the hours gone."
Yeah.
Now we cut to Rhaenys, and she's speaking to Alan, which is Lord Coley's son, and she's thanking him for saving her husband's life from the last season. But she looks at him and she's like, "You're so beautiful. You look familiar." And a woman's intuition. Back in 1542, you was gone for about 10 months.
1542.
So she I can tell, puts 2 and 2 together that is her husband's son.
So funny.
So she could tell, and she's like, listen, without really saying it, but she says it. She talks to Lord Coley, and she's like, listen, you need your other 2 kids are gone. You need to raise up the sons that you have. I don't know what's wrong with him. Like, I like Lord Coley, but I'm like, you You give off deadbeat daddy, and
but all of them are like again.
Yeah.
I said in the beginning of the episode, it's like it is human nature that happened in real life
Yeah.
to a lot of different like European kings and queens
Oh, yeah,
and all that other
absolutely.
that shit happened. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And if you were lucky enough and legitimate enough, you were lucky enough to be a duke.
I think with having such a title, you're like, well, I can do whatever the fuck I want.
Basically.
Yeah. But you know, the jig is up. So at this point, you've lost the 2 kids that you had with your wife. You know, you have other 2. Make it right.
Again, those things aren't important to Lord Coily. It seems it's his adventures and the things he has done.
I get it.
Yeah.
She also tells him, hey, I gotta head over to Dragonstone. My cousin need me because the council getting unruly and she needs somebody to step the fuck up. So before she leaves Driftmark, she just tells him, you know, make it right.
Yeah. Yeah.
We cut to Allison and she is drinking some abortion tea. I said, oh, fucking
milk up the poppy. Yes.
So Kristen Connor got your ass knocked up.
Yes.
And here is added more probably to his security if he finds out that you drinking that. You think you're slick, but you ain't. We see Sir Kristen Cole snatching up castles in the Crown Lands, and Aegon is pissed that he hasn't gone to, you know, that they haven't gone to Harrenhal. He knows that it's a big castle, a lot of people there. He's like, why are you guys not listening to me?
Yeah.
So you see the defiance there with Aemon and Sir Kristen Cole. He's like, hello, like, why are y'all doing stuff behind my back? Right. I said I want Harrenhal. I don't want fucking Crown Lands. It's not worth it. Mm-hmm. But they're not paying attention to him. So that's pissing him off.
And Aemon and Kristen Cole tend to be real close buddies in this manner right now.
Yeah.
Doing a lot of stuff behind Aegon's back. Yes.
And we're also seeing with Aemon that he's kind of stepping up in a sense where he's like, I know you're king, but you're really not fit. And he starts talking to him in High Valyrian, and he's like talking to him like he barely understands.
Yeah.
He like, El
Como estás tú?
It's just proving that you didn't take this serious.
Yeah, exactly. You're not taking any of this serious.
But for Aegon, he never wanted it. His dad didn't raise him up to be it. It was all supposed to be Rhaenyra. So he always probably felt like, I don't need to know High Valyrian. This is not gonna. It's not for me.
Yeah.
We cut to Daemon back at Harrenhal, still getting haunted. And he meets Alice Rivers. She's a witch.
Yes.
She definitely gives off the Red Witch from Game of Thrones.
Yes, very much so.
Yeah, so she's there, and he meets her, and she's going to start kind of telling him about some stuff that's going on with him, and you can tell that he's still contemplating whether he wants to take the crown or not. And I think she's going to be more of the voice of reason for him.
I think she's setting him on his own personal, in a way, hero's journey. Yeah. If you will. So he can become better if he can become better.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, with Aegon feeling like he's being dismissed, he goes and talks to Alicent. Do you think that helps? Hell no. Alicent's relationship with Aegon versus Rhaenyra's relationship with Jace is completely different. Mm-hmm. She listens to Jace, Rhaenyra. She understands what's going on, his plight. And Alicent's just like, you ain't shit. And you ain't never going to be shit.
Basically.
And that makes him say, you know what? Fuck y'all, I'm gonna ride into the night, and I'm gonna go take Rook's Rest. Yeah. Like, fuck y'all. Yeah. Y'all think I ain't shit? I'm gonna prove I am. Mm-hmm. So Aegon's army is headed to Rook's Rest, and Rhaenys goes and actually tells Rhaenyra that she volunteers to ride to Rook's Rest, and because they need to be defended. It's a small town; they don't have any defenses, and they need to take it back.
Right.
Aegon decides to ride with Sunfire to Rook's Rest, and he fucks up the plan that Sir Kristen Cole and Aemon have.
Yes.
They plan on bringing out Aemon with Vhagar, his big-ass dragon, when they need it, but here comes riding on like a weirdo with his helmet. You know, and I know what I noticed.
A weirdo with his helmet sounds so bad right now.
You know what I noticed? Targaryens that ride dragons, they don't need the helmets in the shit, right? Aegon comes right in with the full regalia. He has the helmet on, he has the knee pads, and Aemon's looking like, you dumb idiot. He says it in High Valyrian. He's like, you idiot. So he allows him to ride in, swooping in, killing a lot of the Rook's Rest people, but then here comes a skilled rider as Rhaenys. Yeah. She comes in, fucking up Aegon and Sunfire. Mm-hmm. And here comes, and Aemon waits a minute. He's like, no, I want him to get fucked up.
Yeah, I'm going to let him learn his lesson a little
I'm going to let him get fucked up. Yeah. And the reason why he does that is because the night before, he got embarrassed by Aegon.
Yeah.
At that little whorehouse.
Yeah, during a drunken tirade Aegon had, he went and made fun of his brother.
Yeah.
And that's one thing apparently you just don't do to Aemon, is make fun of him or humiliate him.
Yeah, because that was always the thing, right?
Yes.
So he's getting payback from, Aegon making fun of him when he took the Kingsguard out and he finds him laid up like a baby with the first whore he ever had sex with. So he's making fun of that. So he said, no, I'm going to let you get your shit. He comes in and tries, Aegon thinks he's coming to rescue him. He's like, oh, thank God. Yeah. and Aemon's like, Dracarys. And burns his ass up. And, this gives an exit for Rhaenys. She could actually drive back to Dragonstone. Says she
drive back.
She's driving back with her, with Rhaenys, the dragon. She's driving back, riding back.
Yeah, you go.
But she's like, no, I want to finish this off. And I'm like, girl, no.
Yeah.
Please, we really love you, Rhaenys. Don't do this.
Yeah, I was feeling the same way in that moment too.
But she decides, let me give Aemon a little piece of me.
Yeah.
They start fighting. And Vhagar bites her dragon's neck.
Yeah.
And she goes flying down.
Yeah.
And
she lands right in the middle of the castle and the explosion happens because of the dragon. And
we know that Rhaenys would never have died for dragon fire.
Not at all.
But I think the dragon landed.
It landed on her. It was
like, crushed her. And we cut to Christian Cole, who's on the battleground. He's seeing all this shit. He's seeing the fight, everybody getting burnt up by these dragons.
Yeah.
He's in the middle of this dragon fight below.
Yeah.
He gets knocked out. He comes to and he sees his whole army is basically destroyed.
It's absolute decimation between everything that has happened. And now that he can't even see where the king is, right?
Yeah.
Everything is coming together in this moment. And I truly enjoyed this one moment in particular, only because I hate him so much. It was like, oh, yes, I want you to feel real, true pain.
Yeah, because
you know what I mean?
You are also the cause of this. Not just Otter Tower, Hightower, or Allison, but you've culminated some shit, too.
Yes.
So, when he comes to, he sees Aemon kneeling in front of Sunfire, looking like she got fucked all the way up.
She's dead. She's dying right there in the spot.
You can hear her growling, but you're like, oh, yeah, she gone.
Yeah.
And then you see a burnt up Aegon. And
it is crispy.
Yeah, it's crispy as fuck. I was like, that's some Kentucky Fried Chicken for your ass left in the oven too long.
You ever leave anything in the air fryer
way
too long?
Like shit.
Yeah, god dang.
Because we know that Aegon and Aemon are half Targaryen, so you could die from fire and
getting them third degree burns.
Yeah. And Christian Cole, I think, realizes at that moment, I created a monster with Aemon.
Yes, I am a part of something I shouldn't be a part of.
Yeah, because we knew from last season that he trained him up and he allowed him to keep that anger. So he's like, oh shit.
Exactly.
And he's probably one of the only people who saw what Aemon did.
Exactly. So
that it was the end of episode 4.
And still, as momentum goes, we're feeling really good still mid-season.
Every episode has been a fight.
It's been a fight. It's been some action. It's been some depth. It's been some real, true choices. I'm liking it.
Yeah. So we are on episode 5, Regent.
Regent. Got it.
So on the opening, we see Lord Coley. He's mourning the loss of Rhaenys, the queen that never was. Sir Coley has this bright idea. Or not Sir Christian Cole. If we go over to King's Landing, he has this bright idea to parade Rhaenys' dragon's head all through the town to show that they, quote unquote, won Rook's Rest.
Right.
Sir Gwyn tells him that's not really a win.
No, it was actually a more, if I remember him saying, a more of a Pyrrhic battle. So both sides, again, decimated.
Yeah,
no one really truly won anything.
And Christian Cole's looking like, why are these people not stunned and like in awe? And Sir Gwyn is like, because dragons are supposed to be gods.
Exactly.
This is a bad omen, my guy.
You just brought something really bad home, bro.
Yeah. And we see, Aemon with Allison at the top of the damn castle, and she's looking at him because she sees that he has Aegon's knife, and she's like, this motherfucker, I know he did something. I know he did something. Now, we do cut to, the Kingsguard secretly bringing in Aegon's body into the castle and into his chambers, and the Grand Maester and all of them are trying to work to heal Aegon. It doesn't look good. He's smoking.
Literally smoldering.
Like literally the smoke
like a rising off
like a rotisserie chicken.
That shit must be uncomfortable.
And during this whole thing, Aemon comes in and he tells his mom somebody's gonna have to lead in his absence.
And
maybe it's maybe it's me. Allison looks at him and then she goes to Christian Cole's chambers and she's like, "What the fuck happened, bitch?"
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, I can't tell you. I don't know. It's just two dragons fighting. I don't know what to tell you."
He's still in a way. He's still kind of personally internalized and stunned from the decimation he's witnessed.
Yeah, absolutely. Now back at Dragonstone, Rhaenyra's council, they're like, "We fucking lost Rhaenyra, Rhaenys. Her dragon's dead. We need to do something." So Rhaenyra's isn't really doing anything about it.
No real physical action on their side yet.
Jace is telling Bayley that he's gonna go meet with the twins at River Run.
Right.
He's like, "We have the sea blocked off. We have this blockade, but they got the land.
Yeah.
And no one actually is able to go through River Run. So I think the best thing I can do, because my mom's not listening, I need to go meet with the twins.
Make a deal.
With the phrase.
Yeah.
And I need to see if they'll give me safe passage across our army, safe passage.
Let's cut a deal.
Yeah. Rhaenyra is talking to Masara, whatever her name is, and
you should say the mistress of whispers at this point.
The mistress?
Because I mean, master, mistress, whatever.
Yeah. And she's telling you, she's like, "You know what? Let's put our next play into action. I know they're on you about getting another dragon out there, and eye for eye, but let's go on to part 2 of our our shit." So what she does is says, "You know what? I'm gonna go and she hands a little note over to Alan, Lord Coley's son, and what they're doing is they're sending food over to King's Landing.
Yeah, small boats full of food that wash up ashore. Yeah.
Now back at King's Landing, Allison's like, "Listen, we need somebody to take over," and she's like, "I'm here." But that's the whole reason why they're fighting Rhaenyra, is because they do not want a woman.
Yeah.
As a queen or a king.
Yes.
So everybody, including Sir Kristen Cole, says, "No, let it be Aemon."
Yeah.
And she's like, "Y'all so goddamn stupid."
Yeah, but it's also a moment there where she realizes, even as queen, she still doesn't matter and still doesn't have the freedom that she wanted from Rhaenyra before.
Yeah.
When, like I mentioned earlier in the episode, so it's another humbling moment, and it shatters her. Honestly,
it's like a jealous old BFF, right?
Yeah, it's really something that shatters her. Yeah.
I thought when we cut over to Daemon back at Harrenhal, still getting haunted, and we get to this incest scene with him and I'm assuming his mother.
It is his mother.
What the fuck is going on?
Again, it's all that's normal. Again, in all those books.
Yeah.
But it's a matter of like Harrenhal kind of like messing with his desires, truths, trying to corrupt him, because the land or the castle is supposed to be corrupted. You know what I mean? Even the tree in the courtyard is apparently.
With Aemon, becoming Prince Regent, he decides to close the gates to King's Landing.
Yes.
This is when we're introduced to Hugh. And we were low-key introduced to him on the first episode of season 2.
Yeah.
As like the sword or the...
Blacksmith. He's like a town blacksmith.
Yeah.
Regular dude, apparently. Yeah.
And we know from his small details that we get on this episode is that he, with all the rest of the small folk, are starving.
And like, it's getting bad.
The blockade that Rhaenyra has set up is making them suffer. Now, is, the Red keep suffering? Absolutely fucking not.
Not at all.
But the small folks are. So we see Hugh and his wife and his daughter deciding to leave King's Landing. But, with Aemon's orders, they are stuck. They are stuck.
With the gates closed, now no one can leave King's Landing.
Now, just cutting over to Jace, he's talking to the twins, and they have decided to make an alliance together. They are going to give them safe passage through the Riverlands, but only if the twins are able to get Harrenhal.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, they really, we know people want Harrenhal as the biggest kingdom, but I don't know how that's going to fare with maybe any kind of agreement that Daemon may have while he's sitting there.
We'll see.
Jay said he wants bent knees as well. We need alliance,
a complete allegiance to the queen.
Team Black, absolutely. One of the last things we see on this episode is Bayley. She's speaking with her grandfather, Lord Coley, and just talking to him and consoling him about her grandma Rhaenys dying, and saying, Rhaenyra needs your help. She needs you to be the hand. The council are really fucking with her. They're dismissing everything she says. She's like, they need you.
Yeah.
He's not really sure. He's just really in his own little world, really mourning his wife. But, before Bailey leaves, he says, I want you to be the heir to Driftmark. And she's like, no, I am Blood and Fire. And Driftmark is past the Salton Sea. And I'm like, there's another instance of somebody telling you from your family, basically, without saying it, give it to your sons. You have sons.
Yeah.
Or give it to my sister. Right. What do you want to do?
You wanted to go to the sister real bad.
Let's see. Okay, we see Aemon in the throne room. He's looking at the Iron Throne, and Helena comes in. She said, is it worth the price you pay?
Yeah.
That little small thing, and what we know about Helena, his sister, is that she seems like she's
clairvoyant,
right? Yes. Or she could maybe even be a third eye raven, because she
that's what I think is clairvoyancy.
Yeah, because even on the first episode, she kind of mentions we need to be careful of the rats. And we never really understood what she was talking about until the end of that first episode, when we find out that the rat catchers were there for her son.
Exactly.
So I was like, oh, this bitch is spooky.
Yeah.
She's spooky. Spooky. Back at Dragonstone, Jace comes back and he tells his mom, listen, I secured the twins, the Riverlands. And she's a little upset because she's like, listen, like, I'm scared for your life. Mm-hmm. And I get it. They don't want me to fly out, and I don't necessarily want you either.
Yeah.
But we do have 3 unclaimed dragons that we really need to fight, because Vhagar is big as shit and Aemon is a beast. Mm-hmm. So we got to figure out how to get these some dragon riders. And Jason's like, there's no Targaryen relatives really, but there are some Targaryens that have married off to other families. So maybe we can find them and we can go ahead and claim those dragons.
Making it all hands on deck.
All hands on deck. Yeah, absolutely. Now, that's the end of episode 5.
Right. And kind of a lull, but we're getting a little more into the weeds of the relationships of things and people, and really trying to figure out what's really going to happen. Are we going to war or not?
I see what Rhaenyra's trying to find new dragon riders that she's like, I got to suit up.
Yeah.
And I love her and Jace kind of like combining, collaborating and just trying to get this together. Mm-hmm. So episode 6 is called Small Folk. So we open with Sir Tywin's twin brother, Sir Tywin Lannister, his twin brother. He's with the army. He's riding off to, I think it's the Tooth. There's the name of the Tooth or whatever. Mm-hmm. And they're like, okay, you guys are with us. We need to go to Harrenhal. But I ain't going to Harrenhal without Aemon his dragon. Mm-hmm. So he's like, send the Raven over to, King's Landing and let them know I'm ready to ride, but I'm only riding if we got a dragon, because Daemon's there with his dragon.
Right.
Yeah, so he's really not playing that shit. Aemon's mad because he's like, y'all don't tell me what to do. Mm-hmm. So he tells, Tywin Lannister, your twin sucks, but I got a mission for you. Go over to, I want you to go meet with the triarchies in Estros, I believe.
Yeah, I think
and we need a bigger army, because we need people that's on water.
Yeah, we need
we're
land,
screwed.
sea, and air, please.
Yeah, because land we got it locked down, but sea, them motherfuckers are pirates and they're savage. So we need you to lock that down. Allison is like, you really shouldn't do this because they're not to be trusted. Mm-hmm. They're savages, and they're pirates, and they don't really play fair.
Yeah.
He don't care about that. He said, go ahead and go to Estros.
Neither does he.
Yeah. He said, do what you got to do. Back at Dragonstone, Lord Corey, he's like, hey, he takes his spot with Rhaenyra. He decides he's going to be her hand. Mm-hmm. She informs actually a knight, Sir Darkling, that, hey, I heard that you got Targaryen blood. Mm-hmm. I heard your great-grandmother was a princess, a Targaryen princess. And I was wondering, by chance, are you willing to risk your life by being a dragon rider?
Right.
So he's like, yeah, I'm willing to do that. Let's see what's up. Back at Harrenhal, Daemon is now getting haunted by King Viserys. God damn it. Like, and I can tell Simon Strong is like, I'm so tired of Daemon and his antics, because like you said before, he'll wake up hours later and he's over there threatening Simon Strong, and like, I know you putting a curse on me, and he's like, these halls, I warned you, these halls are haunted. Mm-hmm. I'm just telling you what it is. Let's see. Back at Dragonstone, Rhaenyra is trying to her and Jake are trying to test out this dragon theory. So they go and try to. They go to the dragon pit. They tell Sir Darkling, "Listen, you're gonna have to be assertive.
Don't show no fear.
You got this.
You got this. Yeah."
And I believe it's Vermouth or Vermont.
I don't remember.
Something like that. He wasn't having it. He burnt him up. Yeah. So she's like, I ain't got nobody now. I didn't burn him up. And, with this episode, I think we'll probably end up stopping at this episode and we'll do a part 2.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, we can do a part 2.
Okay.
Because it is a lot that we're breaking down.
Uh-huh.
So once we're done with this episode, we'll kind of just stop for the listeners. I hope I'm a good storyteller. And we'll do a part 2 to... are you? Yeah. And we're gonna do a part 2 to it. So back at Dragonstone. So Lord Strong, Footboy. He's up to his tricks. He's in the small council. He says, "Hey, Aemon. Hey, brother. Sir Kristen Cole was Aegon's hand. So if you want me to be, I can be your hand." Mm-hmm. Aemon said, "Bitch, I ain't playing with you. I already know you just because I got one eye and you got a limp foot don't mean I'm stupid." He said, "No, you ain't being my fucking hand. You got the game twisted."
Right.
So during that conversation, the Grand Maester comes in and says, "Hey, Aegon woke up." Mm-hmm. And Aemon, he's like, "Bitch, I just became king or Prince Regent."
Right.
So Aegon woke up. Aemon comes in, sees him, and asks him, "What do you remember?" And
he puts his hand in his ribs, if I'm not mistaken. So he
that little ball that they have at the small council. He was holding it. He puts it on his chest and makes him hold it. And it's heavy. Obviously, if his chest all burnt, that probably hurts. Yeah. Just the weight of that ball. Yeah. And for the first time, I see that Aegon's not acting stupid. He's like, "I don't know nothing. I don't remember shit."
Yeah. Yeah.
And that was the first time I was like, "Yeah, Aemon's not to be messed with." I already knew he wasn't, but I think Aegon was like, "Yeah, me being the king don't mean shit.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it don't mean nothing."
Yeah.
So we catch up with Renee in the Vale, and she sees a whole pasture burnt up, and she's like, "Fuck, there's a dragon in the Vale."
Right.
And I think she sees this as an opportunity to claim a dragon, which nobody really knows about, really.
Yeah.
Because she doesn't have a dragon.
Of course.
At the Vale also, I'm not sure who is the head of the Vale, but they tell her, "Listen, you guys didn't hold up to your end of the bargain. And, I'm going to probably have to send you over to Pestros. And because, you can't protect us. Yeah. You got little small dragons and you got some unhatched eggs and it's not going to probably work out."
Right.
So she's like, "Fuck, we got to leave." And, I don't know. I feel like I never trusted the Vale. They always been assholes. Always been assholes. Think about Game of Thrones with Ned Stark's wife.
They're kind of like Switzerland or whatever. They're very neutral, and
if it doesn't work, if it
doesn't really benefit them, they won't get into it.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. Okay, so the Footboy finds out. So Laura Strong finds out that Aegon woke up. He goes to him. He said, "Bro, you're in danger. Mm-hmm. What I'm gonna need you to do is." He tells the Grand Maester too, "I need you to get a little bit stronger because I feel like you're in danger. Aemon's going to kill you.
Yeah.
So as best as you can, try to get as better as you can, as fast as you can, because, be ready, basically."
Right. Basically.
Let me see. One of our last scenes, we see Lord Coley's son, Adam, seeing a dragon up above.
Yeah. Randomly. Yeah.
Randomly,
But this dragon throughout the season has kind of been reported. This one has been reported in the lands, a random dragon sighting type.
Yeah, this is Sea Smoke. Sea Smoke, bitch, has been just riding around. He don't listen to nobody. He's been wanting to get claimed.
Yeah.
So Adam's, working at the ship, and then he sees this dragon up above. He's like, "What the fuck is going on?"
Yeah.
The dragon starts chasing him. He must have smelled the Valerian and the Targaryen on him.
Yeah.
And he starts chasing him. And what we see at the end is that basically it looks like Adam has now claimed Sea Smoke without wanting to claim Sea Smoke.
Or rather, Sea Smoke claimed him.
Yeah. He's like, "Hey, friend, I smell it on you. I smell the oils and the stuff on you,
berries,
the threads."
And juices.
So, we cut over to Dragonstone and we see Rhaenyra really just trauma bonding with Damon's ex. And she's like, "These people don't listen to me." And his ex is like, "Listen, I've been screwed over by my dad, Damon. I can't bear kids. they're really trauma bonding at this point, and they end up making out. And I was like, what the hell is this?
That's right, yeah.
Now, the actress that plays Rhaenyra says she actually decided to kiss her. Like, that wasn't in the script at all. And I was like, I wonder where this relationship is going to go to, because we should keep it professional.
Interesting red herring, I believe.
Yeah. We cut to Jace kind of interrupting it. I'm not sure if he really saw it, but he has news that Sea Smoke has been claimed. And Rhaenyra's like, by who?
Yeah.
By who?
Yeah.
So we leave off there. So next week, we'll talk about the last 2 episodes of House of the Dragons.
Okay.
I hope this one, which was an interesting episode. It was a lot. I know that some people haven't watched it, but I hope it's
compelling.
It's compelling enough for you to want to watch the first season.
Yeah.
And finish off the last 2 episodes with us next week.
Yeah.
Do you have any last words of wisdom before we head out for the weekend?
Go watch House of Dragons.
It is on HBO Max.
Yeah.
Remember, you guys, we drop our new episodes every Friday on all streaming platforms. We have visuals on YouTube at Ideally Though Pod. So like, subscribe, hit the bell button.
Yep.
And we'll catch you guys next week. Bye.
Yeah.